It's time for part 8 of reviewing random objects that I came across while playing Half-Life 2. Don't worry if you've missed a few episodes, there's not some overarching storyline or lore hidden between my physics prop reviews. Someone left a comment informing me that there were some interesting objects to review in Half-Life 2 Episode 1. So today we're going to be wandering around the chapter Lowlife on a sort of expedition to see what's there. Allegedly, some of these models should be exclusive to Episode 1, but since I'm just looking at whatever I come across first, I can't make any promises. The first object I found was this chunk of concrete. It has a nice heft to it. I wonder if it's Roman concrete. Personally, I've always preferred a building with solid stone, but concrete will do in a pinch. One issue with this model is that there are a bunch of these scattered around the level, and I came across two that were exactly the same. In fact, it might be that all of them are exactly the same. Talk about immersion breaking. I'll have to give this a 1.4 out of 10. Up next, I found this vent cover. Despite what you might be expecting, I'm not going to make any humorous jokes about this item. Instead, I smashed it against the wall and it broke into many little satisfying pieces. I'll give it a 7.1 out of 10. I probably should have reviewed the hopper mine earlier, but since I found it here, let's talk about it. I love how Half-Life 2 lets you take the Combine's defenses and repurpose them for your own use. However, I mostly just chuck these straight at enemies instead of setting them up like the game intends. I'd say they're most useful in that antlion tower defense section of Episode 2, but in a lot of situations they're just not that much different from an explosive barrel. I'll give these things a 7.4 out of 10. In the dark, I found this bottle of 606. It's supposed to be some kind of cleaning supply product, and according to the Half-Life wiki, it might be a nod to a product called the Formula 409. Just for fun, I'm going to give this a 6.06 out of 10. The flare is probably the most memorable item added in Episode 1. They like to turn off the lights a lot in this game, and since Gordon's own flashlight has a battery life shorter than the average TikTok scroller's attention span, you better believe you're going to be using these as much as you can. You've also got to appreciate the lighting and particle effects here. I know it's nothing compared to today's ray tracing and shark tracing, but you've got to admit it's cool. I'll give this item a 9.5 out of 10. I guess we're also going to review this broken padlock. I think these only appear after you shoot the lock off a door in Half-Life 2. It's a nice little detail, although what's more useless than a broken padlock? I believe the Mythbusters actually proved that you couldn't shoot the lock off a door with only a 9mm pistol, so technically this is unrealistic. I'll give it a 3.4 out of 10. Well, there you go. I reviewed some random objects from Half-Life 2 Episode 1. Tune in next time for some more object reviews.